Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel that I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It's time to stand up in today's The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, July 24th, reveal Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, is not falling for Audra Charles's Zuleika Silver, desperate attempt to turn things around. Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, makes a tough decision about Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. Victor Newman, Eric Braden, and Chance Chancellor, Connor Floyd, confront a new suspect. Plus, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, gets badly injured after their escape plan fails. Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, manages to get help. But will it be too late? On Thursday, Kyle and Audra continue to bicker with each other. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Audra asks Kyle to at least be civilized, but he's not having it. He reminds her that she's already defeated, but Audra isn't giving up just yet. She insists deep down, Kyle still wants to be bad and that he really wants her. Kyle declares he's not scared of her, noting that she has nothing now. But Audra points out that having nothing also means she has nothing to lose, making her even more dangerous. Sharon and Nick continue their attempt to escape the storage room. The Young and the Restless spoilers say they managed to pick the lock. However, a guard is already waiting aside and slams Nick against a rusty chest, cutting him open. Nick grabs a bottle and knocks the guard out with it. Nick is badly wounded and can't even walk. He tells Sharon to go and get help. Later, Sharon returns with Billy, who immediately checks on Nick. He's lost a lot of blood and is barely awake. Billy tells Sharon he needs to get to a doctor soon or he may not be able to make it. Meanwhile, Chance questions Carter, explaining that the groundskeeper's story conflicts with his. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victor pops up and says Carter is paying a high price for his loyalty to Kane. Carter insists he didn't do what they think he did. He adds that he owes his life to Kane and refuses to answer any more questions. Then, Victor claims someone saw him plant a bloody dagger in Nick's sleeping car. Carter thinks they're desperate and maintains his innocence. He adds that whoever said they saw him place the knife under the sink is lying. Chance quickly catches on Carter's blunder, pointing out that he never said where the weapon was hidden. Kane arrives just in time and overhears this. He asks to speak to Carter alone. Watch The Young and the Restless, weekdays on CBS. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, July 21st, reveal Kyle Abbott calls Audra Charles's bluff. Nick Newman is put under house arrest after threatening Kane Ashby. Meanwhile, Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers join forces to help Kane. On Monday, Audra makes out with Kyle in his sleeping car. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Audra believes her seduction scheme has finally paid off, but she's blindsided when Kyle turns the tables with a shocking move of his own. Kyle suddenly stops kissing her and declares he's onto her. He knows what she's really up to, and he's not falling for it. Audra insists what just happened was sincere, but Kyle laughs it off. He thinks this was a new low for her and even threatens to tell Nate. Kyle mocks Audra even more, telling her to admit defeat. He's sure Victor recruited her to split him and Claire Grace up. He adds that the kiss was just to see how far she would take things. Not surprisingly, she was ready to go all the way. Kyle boots Audra out of his room. Meanwhile, Nick berates Phyllis for seemingly siding with Kane. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the redhead reiterates that there's no evidence to prove that the billionaire committed the crime. Nick is sure Kane is framing him, and Phyllis refuses to see it. He accuses her of scheming with Kane and that she's on his payroll. Nick slams Phyllis for turning her back on their history for the sake of a job. This offended the redhead. Later, Nick prepares to leave when Sharon declares she's going with him. The Young and the Restless spoilers say their plan is cut short when Carter arrives with a security guard. Carter tells Nick he's being placed under house arrest due to his threats against his boss, Kane. Nick says they have no authority to do that, but Carter accuses him of trying to escape before the police arrive. Nick orders them to move, but Carter threatens that the security may have to draw his weapon. He then shifts his attention to Sharon and announces that she, too, will be arrested. The maze, Phyllis joins Bill, who just had an argument with Jack. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Billy complains that no one trusts his decisions, not even his family. Phyllis tells Bill how no one believes in her and now her potential boss could go to jail. She just wanted a job. The two continue discussing Kane and agree that he could be useful to them. Bill wants control of Chancellor, Phyllis wants a job, and Kane could easily make both happen. But to get what they want, they'll need to come up with a. The drama in Genoa City never slows down, and the latest Young and the Restless spoilers for July 24th reveal that Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and Sharon Collins, Sharon Case, are in for a shocking twist as their romantic getaway turns deadly. Just when fans thought these two might finally get a happy ending, fate has other plans. Here's everything you need to know about the explosive events unfolding in the next episode. Nick and Sharon's romantic escape. Nick and Sharon have been through countless ups and downs over the years, but their recent reconnection has given fans hope for a reunion. After finally admitting their lingering feelings, the pair decided to take a much-needed break from Genoa City's chaos and escape to a secluded cabin. The scenes leading up to their trip were filled with sweet moments, laughter, stolen kisses, and deep conversations about their past and future. For a brief moment, it seemed like nothing could ruin their happiness. But in true Y&R fashion, danger was lurking just around the corner. A fatal turn of events. Just as Nick and Sharon settle into their peaceful retreat, their getaway takes a horrifying turn. Unbeknownst to them, they've been followed, and not by someone with good intentions. Spoilers reveal that a masked assailant ambushes them in the dead of night. A violent struggle ensues, and in the chaos, gunfire erupts. When the dust settles, one person is left fighting for their life while the other is forced to make a desperate choice: stay and risk death, or run for help and leave their loved one behind. The question on every fan's mind: who gets shot? Possible victims and suspects. Nick Newman. If Nick is the one injured, Sharon will be forced to leave him behind to get help, putting him in even greater danger. Given his history of near-death experiences, this wouldn't be the first time he's faced mortality. Sharon Collins. If Sharon is shot, Nick will be forced to confront his worst nightmare: losing her again. Given her recent health scares, this could be a devastating blow to her loved ones. The attacker's identity. Who would want to hurt them? Cameron Kirsten, returning villain with a vendetta against Sharon. Adam Newman. If he's spiraling and blames Nick for his misfortunes. A new enemy, someone connected to a past secret. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, July 23rd, reveal Kyle Abbott confronts Victor Newman about his scheme with Audra Charles. Nick and Sharon work together to find a way out of their captivity. Kane Ashby and Amanda Sinclair trade accusations of tampering with evidence. Plus, Phyllis Summers continues to defend Kane. On Wednesday, Kyle lets Victor know that he's aware of his and Audra's scheme against him. The Young and the Restless spoilers say he interrupts Victor and Nikki's conversation, declaring that his game with Audra is over. Kyle declares Victor's plan to ruin his relationship with Claire will never work. He taunts the mustache that they are moving in as soon as he gets home, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. Victor is not having any of it. The Young and the Restless spoilers say he challenges Kyle to watch him ruin his plans. Victor runs into Chance and fills him in about Nick being under house arrest. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Chance explains to Victor that he talked to Carter and may have found some evidence. The cop noted inconsistencies between Carter and the groundskeeper's account of how Damien was found. Chance senses something doesn't add up, suspecting that Carter might be hiding more than he's letting on. In the office, Kane is busy trying to recover the security footage. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Amanda arrives and assumes he's erasing evidence. Kane fires back, accusing him of the same, asking if she deleted the video to protect him or someone else. Amanda insists she wouldn't tamper with evidence. She knows better than that. The lawyer then asks her client again if he killed Damien. Kane repeats that he did not murder Damien or delete the footage. He suggests Nick must have erased it, but also admits he's likely not the killer. Amanda urges her boss to release Nick before it blows up in his face. Kane considers it, but wants to speak to Chance first. In the storage room, Nick and Sharon look for ways to escape. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Nick tries kicking the door, but to no avail. Then, Sharon finds an old bottle of champagne. Nick pries the muse lid off the bottle and hands the wire to Sharon. She starts picking the lock. Will it work? At the maze, Audra and Lily discuss Damien's death and how they will tell Nate and Amy back home. As they are talking, they hear a noise in the hedge. It's Phyllis. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the three debate about Kane. Phyllis insists he's not the murderer, but Audra and Lily doubt that. The redhead asks Lily how she can be so suspicious of the father of her children. But Lily is not having any of Phyllis's guilt tripping. She points out that the facts only lead to one place. Phyllis encourages her to consider it again. Watch The Young and the Restless, weekdays on CBS. Young and the Restless, spoilers for the week of July 21st to 25th reveal that Victor Newman takes matters into his own hands to protect his family. The mustache corners Kane Ashby's employee, Carter, in his bid to find out the truth about Damien Kane's murder. Did Kane Ashby confide in you regarding his plan to murder Damien? Victor asks Carter in the weekly preview. Genoa City reacts to the crisis. Back in town, the Newman and Abbott families are unaware of the life-or-death situation unfolding. However, when news finally breaks, chaos erupts. Victor Newman, Eric Braden, will immediately mobilize his resources to find his son. Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, may blame herself for pushing Nick toward Sharon. Summer Newman, Allison Lanier, will be torn between her parents' drama. Faith Newman, Raylan Castor, could be devastated if her mother is in critical condition. Meanwhile, Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, and Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, might find themselves caught in the crossfire, especially if Adam is involved. What this means for Sharon and Nick's future. If one of them survives while the other is left in critical condition, this tragedy could either bring them closer together or tear them apart forever. If Nick is hurt, Sharon may blame herself for dragging him into danger. If Sharon is injured, Nick could spiral into guilt over failing to protect her. And if the attacker is someone from their past, old wounds will reopen, forcing them to confront unresolved trauma. Other Genoa City updates. While Nick and Sharon's ordeal takes center stage, other storylines are heating up. Diane and Jack's marriage tested. Kyle's schemes could drive a wedge between them. Nate's power play. Is he secretly working against Victor? Audra's next move. She's not done causing trouble for Tucker. Final thoughts. Will love conquer all? Nick and Sharon have survived betrayals, divorces, and even death, but this latest crisis might be their biggest challenge yet. With one of them fighting for survival, their love will be put to the ultimate test. Tune in to The Young and the... It is true I would do anything for Mr. Dumas, but I did not do what either of you think I did, Carter insists. Meanwhile, Amanda Sinclair suspects Kane is tampering with evidence when she catches him checking the security footage in his office. But the billionaire is quick to turn the tables on his lawyer. Please do not tell me that you are deleting evidence. That is absolutely the worst thing you could do right now, Amanda tells Kane. You know what's funny? I was just about to come and ask you the same thing, Kane responds in an accusing tone. Nick Newman is still fuming at Kane, especially after discovering the murder weapon in his bathroom. He's sure Kane is setting him up, so he threatens him. Now, spoilers say he's about to pay the price. What do you want? Nick asks as he opens his door to Carter and a security personnel. I need you to come with me. For Mr. Dumas' safety and the peace of mind of the rest of the guests, I'm placing you under house arrest, Carter declares, taking Sharon into custody too. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, July 21st. Jack is blindsided by Billy's decision-making. Phyllis protects her interests. Kyle calls Audra's bluff. Victor demands that Audra hold up her end of their bargain. Nick and Sharon find themselves in a dangerous situation. Nikki gives Kane a warning. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, July 23rd. Kyle tells Nikki the truth about Victor's deal with Audra. Lily stands her ground with Phyllis. Kane questions Amanda's loyalty. Victor and Chance confront a new suspect. Nick's plan to escape backfires. Jack makes a tough decision about Billy. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, July 25th. Victor takes matters into his own hands. Billy and Sally work together to help an innocent victim. Nikki is backed into a corner. Watch The Young and the Restless, weekdays on CBS. For the Friday, July 25th episode of The Young and the Restless, spoilers photos show things take another violent turn over in France. Damien's shocking murder has everyone on edge, but things are about to go from bad to worse for the France crowd. First off, we'll see Carter, Vincent Stalba, and Amanda, Miss Hale Morgan, having it out, which stuns not only Lily, Crystal Khalil, but Kane, Billy Flynn, too. Will this right-hand man have a falling out with his boss? Later, Kane also has a tense talk with Chance, Connor Floyd. The Genoa City detective is doing all he can to solve his mystery, but without having jurisdiction, that's not exactly easy. And, to top it off, Victor, Eric Braeden, is making his demands, and we all know what it's like when the great Victor Newman is breathing down someone's neck. Meanwhile, we'll see Billy, Jason Thompson, and Sally, Courtney Hope, trying to settle things between themselves when a shocking twist has them running to lend a helping hand. As it turns out, Damien wasn't the only target of the maniac. This time, it's Nick, Joshua Morrow, who ends up battered and bleeding. It will be all hands on deck as Sharon Case, Billy, and Sally gather around Nick in an attempt to stop the bleeding and assess the damage. Thankfully, it looks like Nick will fare much better than Damien. At least for now. With the young and the restless Nick and Sharon locked up over Damien's stabbing and Kane, Aristotle Dumas, Ashby insisting he was, and still is, the target, portrayer Billy Flynn gets candid with Woman's World about what it's been like to join a new soap opera after over a decade playing Days of Our Lives' Chad DiMera. Flynn reflects on the pressures of being a recast and recreating the magic of Kane and Lily with daytime Emmy winner Crystal Khalil. Plus, as his character loses control of his well-laid plan, why does Flynn say Lily and the young and the restless fans still haven't yet reunited with the real Kane, while Billy Flynn is still appearing as Chad on Days of Our Lives due to the show's advanced production schedule? This soap opera star currently has his head in a whole different world of drama. He's landed on The Young and the Restless as Kane Ashby, who lured Genoa City's biggest players to Nice as the mysterious Aristotle Dumas, and then trapped them there. It felt like a very grand entrance, Flynn says with a grin. On days, we usually had maybe 2 vets in a scene together, so to walk onto set and have all those amazing people staring at you was kind of terrifying. Peter Bergman, Eric Braeden, Melody Thomas Scott, it was intense. And the sets are beautiful. It was a huge undertaking that they put together for this rollout of Kane, and that didn't get lost on me. I'd gotten very comfortable at Days, and it made me go, okay, I better bring it. I also took over for Casey Daedrick at Day, so I know how hard it is to be a recast, he adds. I made my mark on that character, but I was there for 11 years. It's not easy, and that's if you fit the description, and I don't. With Kane's Aussie originator Daniel Goddard now over at General Hospital, Flynn is both younger and, well, more American than his predecessor. I knew I was going to have a mountain to climb, he admits. I felt self-conscious and insecure, but Eric Braeden made me feel better when he told me that they were all happy I'm playing Kane and that my version would resonate and make sense. I also had conversations with Crystal Khalil and everyone I'd be working with who assured me. And the day that I couldn't say Genoa City, people were just roasting me, he shares with a laugh. It made me feel like part of the team. Everybody's been so kind, congratulatory, and excited to work with me that I felt like I had something to prove. I wish I had the empathy for myself that I did for Marcy Miller and Annalyn McCord coming in and playing Abigail, or a new love interest who didn't end up being Abigail, he adds, referring to his former Days of Our Lives leading ladies. But I'm hard on myself, as I'm sure Marcy was. Even his original Abigail, Kate Monsey, can relate, since she's been enjoying her own fresh start as General Hospital's no longer so new Christina. We definitely chatted about it, Flynn shares. But I'd wanted to work at Y&R for a long time. I mean, at every Emmys, I talked to Peter Bergman about going over, and years ago, I talked to the show about playing Chance, but it just didn't work out. The fact that this role came when it did, it felt serendipitous. It felt like the right time, the right part. I was excited. In a soapy twist, the actor who's replaced Flynn as Chad on Days of Our Lives is the actor who landed the role of Chance, Connor Floyd. Some people are sad that I've left, but I think Connor taking over excites everybody, says Flynn, who will air on both shows through this year, but is focused on getting to know his new character.